guys, my name's Adam, your friendly Sasquatch, and today I'm doing a quick video review of Olight's brand new OClip Pro. This is a nice little EDC light that they were nice enough to send over to me. I don't normally gravitate to these smaller EDC lights, but I'm really impressed with this little guy. A lot of times they're made of plastic, they're kind of cheap feeling. This is a nice all aluminum metal construction. The anodizing is really nice, which is what you come to expect from all of Olight's products. It has some really nice features, which we'll get into in just a minute. In this video review, we're going to talk about the size and weight, the different features that I'm impressed with this particular light, the run times and brightnesses, and who I think this light is really aimed at. So let's go ahead and look at the size and weight. It's 2.25 inches long, 1.1 inches wide, and 1.1 inches thick. And that's with the clip and everything included, so it's actually a little bit thinner than that. So really nice compact light. It's 1.87 ounces, so in your pocket or on your bag, you're not going to even feel this thing is there. It's a USB-C rechargeable light with this nice metal door. It's not a cheap rubber door. It snicks shut really nicely and maintains the IPX6 rating, which means it can be hit from all angles with jets of water and it's still going to function. Now, this isn't a dive light. You can't take it to 100 feet. That's not its intended purpose, but you know, it is a very weather resistant light, and I think that's a really good thing for the type of light that this is. In addition to being USB-C rechargeable, it has this nice little clip on it, and it has a rubberized texture on both the body and the inside of the clip. And the clip itself has been tested to 10,000 open and closes. So it's not a cheap little clip that if you drop it, it's going to pop off. It's a good, robust clip. The clip itself is also made of metal in addition to the body itself. So it's not just the body of the light that's made of aluminum. So that's good to see. Moving to the front of the light, we have three LEDs. One is a floodlight, one is a thrower light, and one is a red LED to protect your night vision. So we'll go over those in just a little bit, but that's kind of an interesting feature of this light. It's not just one LED that does it all. They have specialized LEDs for each application, which I think in this case was really well executed. On the side of the light, we have a nice little toggle switch in addition to a push button. The toggle switch on the very forward-facing location is going to be the floodlight. Then turning it straight up is going to be the thrower light. And then moving it all the way to the back, it's going to be your red LED. I like that it had a real sure toggle switch. It clicks into place and it really lets you know what mode you're in, versus a light like this that has a really awkward series of button presses or something like that. You just move the toggle to the setting you want and away you go. You may have noticed when I was turning this toggle switch, the power button in the middle does illuminate. Green means it's between 60 and 100% state of charge. Orange means that it is between 30 and 60% state of charge, and red means that it's between 0 and 30% state of charge. That's kind of a nice quick way to check to see what your charge status is before you hit the road. Now, one of the things I was really curious about is some of these smaller lights get really hot, or at least they have in the past. Now, Olight's always been pretty good about it, but I figured I should test it out. So I got my thermal imaging camera out and I was just blown away. After 5 minutes on turbo mode, the light was under 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is cooler than your body temperature. This is unheard of for a light of this size. Lights I've reviewed in the past that have this kind of output easily are exceeding 100 and 110 degrees by this point in the test. And then at the end of the test, when I was kind of looking over the light under the thermal imaging camera, I noticed the heat was very evenly distributed. It wasn't concentrated around the LEDs, indicating that both the LEDs aren't putting off a ton of heat. And it shows that the all-metal body construction of this light does a really good job dissipating the heat. You can see that the clip itself is a lot cooler than the light in this thermal imaging video, and it kind of acts as a really good cooling heat sink. So I just thought that was interesting. This light seems to run a lot cooler than a lot of the other lights I've tested in this size category in the past. As far as the USB-C recharging, it's under this metal flap like we pointed out earlier, and the light takes 1 hour and 30 minutes to recharge the 580 milliamp hour battery. So I really like that. It has a relatively quick recharging time for a decent sized battery for a light this size. When you're charging the light, there'll be a red light over here blinking. It will blink until the light reaches 95% state of charge, and then it will turn green once it's over 95% state of charge, knowing that you're near or at fully charged status. And as always, Olight includes the USB-C recharging cable just in case you don't have one to go with this light, or you can put it in your glove box or something like that so it's handy should you ever need it. Let's go ahead and talk about the user interface of this light real quick. Since there's 3 different LEDs, it's going to be kind of a lot to cover, so I'm going to go somewhat quickly. First, you want to set the toggle switch to the setting you want to be in. I'm going to push it fully forward to be in the flood mode. To get into moonlight mode, we press and hold the side button. and that will put us into the 1 lumens mode, which has a runtime of 144 hours or 6 days. That's really good. Now if we press and hold the side button, it's going to cycle between the low, medium, and high settings. Low, medium, high, low, medium, high. And then to get into turbo mode, we double press the side button, and that gets us into the full 500 lumens turbo mode when you're in the flood setting. Now when you're in the spotlight setting, the turbo mode is going to be 380 lumens, still super bright. Turn off, we just push the side button. Pretty nice. Switching to the spotlight mode, we have the same moonlight mode. Press and hold to get the moonlight mode on, and then pressing and holding the side, we will cycle through the low, medium, and high settings just like before. And then to get turbo, we double press, and we are in turbo mode. You press the side button to turn it off. Now in the red setting, we just turn the light on into the 4 lumens mode by pressing the side button. To get into the 40 lumens mode, we double press the side button, and that'll get us into the full 40 lumens red mode. And then if we press and hold the side button, we will get into their kind of beacon mode or SOS mode. I actually really like this mode. I think it'd be excellent for bikers, runners, hikers, anyone who wants to put this light on the back of their bag so they're easily visible to cars or other people like hikers and stuff on the trail. And the fact that this can just easily clip onto your gear is a really nice feature. So I think this red SOS mode is something a lot of people are going to find super useful. And then pressing the side button, you turn the light off. So those are the modes. I'm going to go over the runtimes super quickly. The floodlight and spotlight modes have the same runtimes for each setting. At moonlight mode, we have 144 hours or 6 days. At low mode, we have 27 hours of runtime, which is really good. At medium mode, we have 3 hours and 30 minutes. At high mode, we have 1 hour and 40 minutes. And then in turbo mode, we have 50 minutes, which is really good. A lot of times the turbo modes, the lights will just burn through their batteries super quick. I think 50 minutes is a super usable turbo mode. I'm really impressed. Now in floodlight mode, this light is a bit brighter than it is in spotlight mode. In moonlight, it's 1 lumens. In low, it's 10 lumens. In medium, it's 100 lumens. In high, it's 300 lumens, which I think is a super usable brightness setting. And in turbo, it is a whopping 500 lumens, which will run for 50 minutes. Super good. In the spotlight or throwing mode, the moonlight mode is again 1 lumens. In low mode is 9 lumens. Medium mode, it's 85 lumens. And high mode is 240 lumens. And then the turbo mode is 380 lumens. And again, that lasts for 50 minutes. So super usable. This light also has 2 special settings, which both work in the floodlight and spotlight mode. So when the light is off, if you triple press seizure warning, you will have the strobe mode. So 1, 2, 3. As you can see, very fast strobing, very disorienting. And then we'll just turn that off. Now when you turn the light off, when it's in strobe mode and you turn it back on, it will not be in strobe mode. It will go into the high setting. So that's good to know. Now when the light is on, if you triple press the side, it will go into kind of a beacon mode. So it will blink every 5 or 6 seconds or so. And just a quick little blip. And this is good if you're trying to let somebody know where you are, if you're in a boat or hiking in the woods or something like that. It's just a quick little light. It just kind of periodically goes off to let people know that you're over here. There is one last mode to know about. That's the lockout mode. If you press and hold the side button, you'll see moonlight mode come on, and then you'll see the moonlight mode come off, and the light no longer works. It's locked out. And that can be kind of handy if you don't want the light to come on in your bag, or you're storing this for a long period of time and you want to make sure that the battery is conserved for as long as possible. To come out of lockout mode, you just press and hold the side button. You'll see that the moonlight mode comes on, and you know that the light is now ready for use. Okay, so that's my quick walk around of Olight's new OClip Pro. This is a really nice light with a lot of features I think that most people are going to find super useful. So let's go ahead and take this thing outside so you can see what this thing looks like in the real world, and then we'll bring it back inside. I'll give you my takeaway and who I think this light is going to be an ideal fit for. Okay guys, we're in my backyard, aka the testing area, and we're going to go ahead and start with the flood mode. Here's the moonlight mode. You're not going to be able to see it, but if I put my hand in front of the camera, you can definitely see that it works. Here's the low mode. 10 lumens, again, not very bright. This would be good for reading, checking for things under the bed, etc., but it's not going to work very well in a parking lot or something like that. Here's the medium mode, and this is much more usable. I could easily use this to put keys in the front door, to follow a sidewalk, something like that, but you're not going to be able to see that back wall very well, especially on flood mode. All right, here's the high mode, and this again is on the flood setting, and that's actually pretty usable. It covers quite a bit area, and I can easily see that back wall and those pots out there. So that's pretty good for a flood beam on 300 lumens. Here is the turbo mode, and if you remember, that's 500 lumens, much more usable. It's not a spotlight, it's not a thrower in the flood mode. It's really just meant to illuminate a general area. But you know, this fence here, you can definitely see the side of the house, very visible. This is a very floody flood mode. Again, I think it's going to work good in like parking lots, sidewalks, hiking, you know, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and switch to the thrower mode so we can see the difference. Here's the thrower mode on the turbo setting, and as you can see, much more intense hotspot. You can really see the edges of everything, a nice crisp, clear light. So that's on the turbo mode, just so you can kind of compare to the flood mode. Let's go ahead and start back at the moonlight mode. Here's the moonlight mode for the spot setting, and again, you know, kind of similar to the flood mode, not as bright, but good for reading and stuff like that. Here's the low mode, again, similar to the floodlight, not super bright, gonna be good for checking under the bed, in drawers, you know, reading, stuff like that. Here's the medium, and with the throw mode, the medium's actually pretty useful. I can see the pots out there, and I can see the edge of the tree, I can see the top of the wall, pointing at the roof on the left here. The medium mode with the thrower is actually pretty useful. Now here's the high mode with the throw setting, and it's pretty effective. I would say this is a very usable high mode, and for such a small light, this is really nice. And on the high mode, you still have an hour and 40 minutes of runtime, which is really good for a small package like this. And here is the turbo mode, and yeah, that turbo mode is super useful. 380 lumens. I think this turbo mode is going to be one of my favorite settings on this light. And again, unlike a lot of these other smaller lights, it doesn't get that hot. Even on this highest setting, it's not going to get much over 92, 93 degrees, which for a small compact light like this is really good. I have to emphasize, some of the other lights I've tested get really hot in your hand just after a few 30 seconds or so. This could easily keep the intensity up until the battery dies. So that's been a really pleasant surprise with this particular light. The heat management is excellent. Okay, finally I'm going to use the red modes. I'm not sure how well this is going to show up on camera, but we'll give it a try. Here is the 4 lumens mode, and I don't expect you to be able to see much, but if I put my hand in front of the camera, I think you'll be able to see that. Again, I'm not sure how well the camera picks up on red, but I can easily see it with my naked eye. So that'd be great for map reading and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and bump it up to 40 lumens. And that is much brighter. It almost looks orange to me. I can definitely see the side of the house, the fence and stuff. It's kind of dim, but it's definitely a usable red light. Putting my hand in front of the camera, you can definitely see my hand. It's a very bright red light. I like it. Finally, we're going to test the strobe mode, so seizure warning. There is the strobe mode, very bright, very disorienting. This would be a very usable strobe should you ever need it. All right, that's the quick outdoor test. Let's take this back inside. Okay, we're back inside from the testing area. What do you guys think? I'm actually really impressed with this light. For the size that it is and the run times that it offers, it's a really bright and capable light with a lot of options for how you can use it. Between the floodlight, the throw light, and the red LED to protect your night vision, I think this is a really compelling light to have in your EDC kit. This is a great light to take out. I think if you want to just have something extra in your bag, you don't know if you're going to need a flashlight that day, and it's going to be there ready to go whenever you need it. If you're a runner, a biker, a hiker who has to cross busy traffic, putting this on your bag in the beacon or SOS mode could be a literal lifesaver. In those dawn and dusk hours, it's very important to make sure that other people can see you. I think this could be a great backup EDC light as well. Put it in the glove box of your car, in your everyday bag, in the drawer of your desk. Anywhere you might need it if your primary light dies or you just forget to bring it, or for whatever reason you need to lend somebody a light that doesn't have their own light. This could be a great option to have as a secondary light as well. Overall, I think this is a great light. It's really bright and the run times are phenomenal. Olight has done a really good job improving LED technology year over year over year. They're more efficient and they run cooler, meaning they'll last longer. I think this is a great EDC light and I would highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot. And check out this video on screen. I think you'll like it too. Cheers!